Browns also starting mandatory minicamp today, and all eyes are on the quarterback logjam. During OTAs, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett were getting the majority of first-team reps. Third-round pick Dillon Gabriel got a few, while fifth-rounder Shedeur Sanders has been the fourth QB. He spoke today. Take a listen. It's new on SportsCenter.
My goal is to be the best teammate and to be as polished as I can be. So in every aspect, I view things as I got time. I got time to be able to grow and mature, and be able to understand the ins and outs of the defenses and be able to get the good insight from the vets in the room. So I look at it as, a plus. Like I got time to actually be able to really have a great understanding. And whenever, it's time for me to play, then it's time for me to play. But I'm not looking too far in the future about all that. I'm looking about every day in practice, because I had some misses out there today that, we got to go in there and correct, about Reeves getting in and out drops a little bit faster from under center. So that's the main thing. I'm focused on the small things, and over time, the big things will happen.
And back with Adam Schefter and Tim Hasselbeck, and you heard Shedeur Sanders right there. He said he still has time. Shefty, what have you been hearing about how Shedeur Sanders has looked in Cleveland so far?
He's looked good, but then again, they're throwing against their own teammates. They're throwing against air, so there's not a lot that can be taken away during OTAs and mini camps. But the fact of the matter is, he's coming there. He's acted professionally. He's thrown like a major league quarterback. He'll continue to have an opportunity to compete for the Browns starting quarterback job. I think people around the league still believe that Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett might be the favorite to win, that a veteran will start on opening day. Very rarely do you see a mid-round draft pick like Dillon Gabriel on the 4th or Shedeur Sanders in the 5th wind up winning the starting quarterback job. But the opportunity is going to be there for them, and this quarterback competition will be wide open this summer.
And a lot has been made about Shedeur Sanders going in the 5th round and how crowded that quarterback room is in Cleveland. Tim, how do you think the Browns have handled both Sanders and their whole quarterback situation so far?
Yeah, I think they're doing the best they can with it. When you have 4 guys that you want to give reps to, it's just impossible to really make it an even competition, because you can't, divvy them up, a quarter, across the board. And so I would just say this, the sound from Shedeur Sanders there was great. I think it's the right approach from a standpoint of, look, it's not going to happen all at once. You got to put the work in, and when you do get your opportunity to play, you try to play well. Now, I do think that, the opportunity to play, will come probably sooner than later, and we're just talking about preseason stuff. But it's not going to happen with, necessarily with the starters. And I would say this, from the reporting about, look, it's been Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett on one side doing 11-on-11 and 7-on-7. On the other side, Gabriel and Sanders doing it. Look, until, Sanders or Gabriel, for that matter, are taking reps with Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku in team environment stuff, it's not a real competition. It's just not. Like, the reality is until you are competing kind of apples to apples in terms of who you are in getting live reps with the guys that are the starters, it's no different than varsity and JV. There's a difference. So until that happens, like it looks right now with the way they're doing it and how they're handling it, that Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco are the guys that are having the initial crack at being the starters.
Yeah, still very, very early.
And Amina, let me say this.
Go ahead, Shefty, go ahead.
Hold on. And Tim would know that. He's used to standing off to the side, practicing 7-on-7, watching the guys vying for the starting job.
Yes.
Not catching him straight.
We all bring something to the table here. We all bring something to the table here. That experience is valuable.
Man. Shefty just coming off of the top rope. Adam and Tim, thanks so much.
SportsCenter, there he is. Black and yellow of Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, wearing number 8. They don't want him wearing Terry Bradshaw's number 12. Understood. 41-year-old getting a new start after didn't work out in New York. Physical good, contract good. It is time to play football for Aaron Rodgers at Steelers' mandatory minicamp. Is this video just coming in from this afternoon as we welcome in our senior NFL insider, Adam Schefter, and analyst Tim Hasselbeck. Adam, what more can you tell us about Aaron Rodgers and his arrival in Pittsburgh?
Matt, he met with the team this morning, and after not showing up for OTAs and waiting till sign until last week, he told the team he is all in for this season. And this is the start of his onboarding process. This essentially amounts to to rookie orientation for the 41-year-old quarterback as he begins to get acclimated to his new teammates, new coaches, new offense in a new city. That's what these couple of days of mandatory minicamp are about for Aaron Rodgers before the Steelers break for the summer and then report back to training camp with an eye on the regular season opener against former Steelers quarterback Justin Fields and the New York Jets.
Yeah, and with all the talk about, hey, when does he need to get there? Look, this is plenty of time. It's a quarterback that's played, a couple decades in the National Football League. To be there before training camp and be participating in this, I think is just an absolute bonus for Pittsburgh. And it really felt like all along, whether there was the handshake, and the wink that, hey, look, I'll be your quarterback this year, it felt like Pittsburgh was behaving this offseason with the anticipation that Aaron would be there. And Aaron's going to come with a lot of confidence, a lot of experience to give that team hope. Just the reality is, yeah, he's north of 40, but just even in the mini camp and the experience around the guys, like it's going to give that organization a hope that their quarterback play will become stabilized and maybe be, even better than stabilized because of his arrival.
Yeah, Hasselbeck, you can talk about it all you want. He's a future Hall of Famer, first ballot. He's won a Super Bowl, one of the best pure throws of football ever. There's a lot of mileage on it, but he still has that aura about him when he walks into a locker room, and Pittsburgh has that at their advantage. I love Schefter pointing out that opening game. It's basically a team swap between the two quarterbacks. And Adam, one notable absence today, TJ Watt. What can you tell us?
He's not happy with where contract talks are at. And in an off-season where we saw the Las Vegas Raiders make Max Crosby the highest paid defensive player in football history for about a week before the Browns made Myles Garrett the highest paid defensive player in football history, TJ Watt is now out to get a new contract. He's headed into the last year of his deal. He's the heart and soul of that defense, maybe that team. City obviously loves him, and he wants to be paid right now with all these pass rushers being paid. He feels like he's underpaid. He did not report today. Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati did not report today. And in an offseason of pass rush deals, there are still more deals out there for players like Watt, Hendrickson, and Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons.
Yeah, it's kind of missed out on that.
You got to go out there and dance. On the field, the Cowboys are hoping to bounce back from last year's Greek tragedy. A season of high hopes ended in 7-10, and without the playoffs for the first time since 2020. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs showed up at camp today. Coach Schottenheimer spoke today about Parsons. Take a listen. It's new on SportsCenter.
My conversations with Micah have been great, and really all the guys, but he's doing the things he's supposed to do in terms of he's training, he's prepping, he's been in, he's been out, and nobody's more excited than Micah about what we're building here, and he's excited to be back.